Hello everyone, this is your teacher Ayub, and I hope you are doing well. Welcome to your first online English class. So in this class for this week, we are going to go over Unit 7. This is Houston, okay? We are going to go over the vocabulary and the grammar, which is gerunds and the reported speech. So I know that we have already studied all of this back when we used to have classes at school, but it won't be harmful for us to study it all over again. Alright, so at first we have the vocabulary from page 82 in your student book. Alright, first one here is countdown clock. A clock that is used to count in reverse. It's like counting back, not forward like the normal clock. Example, the countdown clock shows that we have 4 seconds left. Okay, here it is in the picture. Lunar module, a space vehicle that lands on the moon. Okay, example, the lunar module landed on the moon safely. This is a lunar module. Lunar means something related to the moon. Number 3, space capsule, a spacecraft where astronauts stay in during their traveling time in space. During their traveling time. For example, the space capsule is bigger than I thought. Okay, this is a space capsule traveling in the Number 4, spacesuit, a special kind of suits that astronauts wear in space, as you see in the image. Example, his spacesuit has a big oxygen tank. This is an oxygen tank. Number 5, launch pad, a platform that rockets get launched from. This is a rocket in white and red, and this is a launch pad. It's massive. The launch pad is massive, as you see in the image. Crater, a large round hole in the ground. Okay, as you see here, we have a lot of craters on the moon. For example, the moon has lots of. Number 7, control panel, a board that controls processes and gives orders. This is a control panel. You see there's a lot of buttons and switches to control stuff like processes and to give orders. For example, the engineer in the picture gave the order of the launching using the control. Number 8, screen. Screen is a flat part that allows watching and trailing processes. Okay, this is a screen. Okay, we have it as well on our phones, our laptops, almost everywhere. For example, keep watching the screen to trail the rocket. Number 9, headset. Headset is a device that has an earphone and a microphone that is worn on the person's head. Okay, as you see here, this one and this one, what are earphones, and this one here is a microphone. For example, you need to use the headset to keep up with the launching process. So what's the difference between a headset and the normal earpieces or earphones? That the headset has what? A microphone. Okay, so we have finished the vocabulary. Now we go to the grammar. So, gerund, page 83 in your student book, and the same for your workbook, and page 125 in your student book in the grammar focus section. Okay, so gerund. Gerund is a verb that acts like a noun in a sentence. You get a gerund by adding ing to a verb. Okay, so we get a gerund by adding ing to the end of the verb. Gerunds have lots of uses, but we are only going to study one of them, the subject of the sentence. So gerunds have lots of uses, we use them a lot, okay, but today we are going to only use them in one case, when they come as the subject of the sentence, okay. First of all, let's see how gerunds look like and how to get a gerund out of a verb. Okay, so we add ing to a verb to transfer it into a gerund. Okay, so have here infinitive verbs and I want to transfer them into a gerund. Okay, add becomes adding, love, loving, put, putting, die, dying, go, going, listen, listening, be, being, swim, swimming. Okay? So, have you noticed that by adding ing, some words get changed a little? Okay, so some of those verbs have changed a little bit when we added the ing. Okay, well, here are some rules you can follow to transfer a verb into a gerund correctly. So, first rule, if the verb ends in an I, which is the letters I and E, we replace them by Y, okay, by the letter Y. Here's an example, the verb lie, L-I-E, lying. I have removed the the I and E and replaced them with the Y, lie, lying. Same here, die, dying. Alright. Rule number 2, if a verb ends with an E, we remove it, okay? We move it. If a verb like have has an E at the end of it, we remove it and add ing directly. Have, having, make, making, okay? So, pay attention here please. Rule number 3, if a verb comes as a CVC, CVC is short for consonant plus vowel plus another consonant. We double the last letter. So when a verb has a consonant, after that consonant comes a vowel, then after that vowel comes another consonant. Consonant حرف ساكن, vowel حرف إلا. So when this form comes, we double the last letter. So double means to make the letter not one but two. Put, putting, put, P is a consonant, U is a vowel, T is a consonant. So put becomes putting. Travel, traveling. Okay, V is a consonant, E is a vowel, L is a consonant, and it comes traveling like this. We double the L and here we double the T. Alright, and now you know what is a gerund and how to make one. You need to know how to use it in a sentence. As we said before, we are only going to study one usage of gerunds, which is the subject in a sentence. Okay? Subjects usually take place at the beginning of the sentence. Alright? So we have learned how to transfer a verb, an infinitive verb, into a gerund. Now we are going to learn how to use it in a sentence. So we are only going to use it as a subject, and we know that subjects usually غالبا come at the beginning of the sentence. Example, Ahmad is playing football. Ahmad here is the subject. It came at the beginning of the sentence. Ahmad is playing football. Okay, so now let's see an example for a gerund and use it as a subject. Eating vegetables is healthy. Eating here is a subject. Eating here is a subject. It became as a gerund, as a noun. It might look like a verb, but it acts and functions as a noun. Eating vegetables is healthy. Okay. Okay. Now it's your turn to use gerunds in sentence correctly. So we have blanks here and a sentence here. You can use this verb as a gerund, transfer it into gerund, and use it as the subject of these sentences. Okay, you have 30 seconds. Alright, I think that this is enough time for you. Okay, let's solve or answer the first one together. Okay, the first one was blank. Football is so much fun. And the verb is play. Okay, so the verb is play. We want to transfer it into a gerund to use it as a subject, as a noun for the sentence. Play ends with the letter Y. So before I add ing, I have to pay attention to those three rules. So the first rule was if I have an I and E. And the second rule was if I have an E. And the third rule was if I have a consonant, vowel, consonant. Okay, but what if none of those was in my verb? I just add ing directly without changing anything in the verb. Okay, play ends with the letter Y, is a consonant. Okay, Y is a consonant. So we add ing directly without changing anything. So it becomes playing football is so much fun. Okay, the answers are playing for first one. Lying, it was L and E, and I and E, it became lying. Having, I removed the E and it became having. Living, swimming, I have doubled, and for cutting as well, I have doubled the last consonant because it became, it came like this. C, okay, consonant, vowel, and consonant. Consonant, vowel, consonant. So I doubled the last letter. Okay, so second grammar we have here is reported speech. Reported speech in your books, page 85 in the student book, same for workbook, and 125 exercise number 2 in the grammar focus in your student's book. Alright, so reported speech. We use reported speech to tell someone what another person said. So when we want to tell someone what we heard from another person or what another person said, okay, we use the reported speech. So we create the reported speech out of the direct speech by transferring the time tense. Okay, so I have the direct speech, which is the normal speech, and I transfer it into reported speech to tell another person what that person said by what? Changing the time tense. So from simple present to simple past, from present to past. I always go back in time when I want to change the reported speech. So go becomes went, speak becomes spoke, Be becomes was or were based on the subject or pronoun. Look, looked. Have or has comes had. Okay, so this is VIP, very important point. Please take a look at your workbook, page 127, and memorize as many verbs as you can. So in your workbook, last page, which is 127, okay, you have a list of verbs. You need to memorize as many as possible so you can use them in a sentence, in a reported speech sentence correctly, and it's very important for you too. And I will do quizzes for it to make sure that you actually memorize them and use them correctly. So, reported speech has a form that you need to memorize in order to create a correct sentence. Okay, so I have a form here. This is a form that I have to memorize to create a correct sentence using reported speech. So we start, as always, with the subject. After the subject comes said. After said comes that. After that comes the subject. The subject here doesn't necessarily has to be the same subject here. It can be the same one, but it what can be something else. Okay, we're gonna see in the upcoming examples. After the second subject comes the verb to, or the past tense verb. Okay, then come the rest of the sentence. Let's take a look on at these examples. Salma said that she played basketball. Okay, Salma said, Salma is a subject, said. Okay, there's that, there's she, the other subject, she refers to Salma. Then comes the verb to, played. Then comes the rest of the sentence, which is the object in here, is the basketball. Okay, Abdullah said, Abdullah is the subject, said, as it is, that. Okay, then comes the other subject, which is he. Then comes the verb to, irregular verb to, from eat to ate. Then comes the rest of the sentence, this morning. They is the subject, said that. Okay, then they, the second subject, and watched the movie, the rest of the sentence. Okay, and now you know the form of the reported speech. It's time to transfer direct speech into reported speech. Okay, so I have direct speech that speech that I want to transfer it into a reported speech. She talks to the teacher. Okay, she talks is a verb 1, and she, the subject, to the teacher is the rest of the sentence. So I want to transfer it reported speech. I have to put the form here that I have memorized already, and what transfer the direct speech sentence to reported speech based on that form. So I start with the subject, she, then I add said, that, then I add the second subject based on the first one, she, talked, from talks to talked to the teacher. Okay, let's see the second example. Direct speech, the children are not playing. Okay, the children are not playing. Reported speech, he said that, he, someone, said that the children, those are the children, weren't playing. Okay, weren't, are becomes were, and not is stays as it is, playing. Okay, so here is an extra information. We have to pay attention to some other things, like transferring words other than verbs and nouns to pronouns. we should change time and place expressions. Okay, we have time and place expressions that we have to change them as well, not only the verb and the pronoun. So from direct speech to reported speech, we have now becomes then, this becomes that, these becomes those, today becomes that day. Okay, this is a time expression, a place expression, and a time expression. Now it's your turn to use reported speech. Transfer these direct speech sentences into reported speech ones. Okay, you have 50 seconds to transfer these direct speech sentences into reported speech ones. Okay, go. Alright, so I think this is enough. Okay, let's answer the first one together. I like these apples. So I put the form in front of me, which is subject. Okay, then then comes said, then comes that, then other subject, then verb 2, then the rest of the sentence. So the subject here is I, becomes he or she. Okay, he or she, but we chose he. Then comes said plus that. So he said that. Then the second subject, which is he. So why did I choose he a second time? Because he said something about himself. So I chose the second subject as he because he was talking about himself. I like these apples. I like these apples. I'm talking about myself. Okay? So, after the second subject comes the past tense verb, which is the verb to. Like becomes liked. Okay? Then, after that, the rest of the sentence, but I have to pay attention what do I have in the rest of the sentence. The rest of the sentence has these in it. So these is what? Place expression. Okay, but in case if you have place or time expression. Okay, so these become those. These becomes those. Then the object is apples stays as it is. So he said that he liked those apples. He said that he liked those apples. He is a subject. Said that. He, another subject. Liked, verb to. Those, place expression. And there's apples. Okay? Let's see the answers of the others. The answers are, he said that he liked those apples. They said that they were from Jordan. He said that it landed on the moon. She said that she didn't like volleyball. He said that he cut the rope. She said that she wanted to buy a new game. He said that he had 7 bananas. Alright, so this is our class for this week. Thank you for attending and listening to it. I hope you understood everything. There will be a homework that I will upload on WhatsApp for you to answer. I guess you have a whole week to answer it. So focus and pay attention to the details and try to memorize and take notes from this from this class, so you can memorize them better. And thank you, stay safe, and see you next week.